So, Bills-Jets. I got my kids out in different towns. I'm almost texting them play-by-play. It's so unbelievable right out of the gate. Where does that game come from?
Well, I think for whatever the reason is, they actually had a good game plan offensively, and Barkley executed it, and then players started to respond. And the Jets were a team that was in bad shape to begin with, and it did not look good, obviously, for Todd Bowles in the way they played. But I'm going to give the Bills credit. Look, you can blame the Jets all they want. They were terrible, and they started to, nobody wants to hear the word quit, but that team did not look like they were playing well. But they hadn't quit on the first play of the game, and they hadn't quit on the second play. And the Bills, for the first time, looked like a version of a 2018 offense. Yeah. They threw the ball down the field. They made plays. They ran. Wide receivers adjusted to the ball. Let's just take it for what it is. Matt Barkley played like an NFL quarterback. It's the first game they've had all year that way. And they played, and Brian Daboll did a good job.
What were you thinking?
I mean, anytime you can get Matt Barkley out on the field with Robert Foster, you got to watch out for that. I don't get it. And it's frustrating because you have that game and the Minnesota game, right? Two unbelievably great offensive performances in the first half. I mean, this Minnesota game, they took the foot off the gas. But, explain to me the rest of them. Okay, so Daboll can come up with these game plans to fit the strengths and weaknesses of his players. How are you winning by 30, winning by 20, or losing by 20 with one of the best defenses in the league? I cannot wrap my mind around how they are either phenomenal or horrible, with the exception of the game against Tennessee. It makes zero logical football sense.
But I think when you look at the carousel that has been at quarterback, it's hard to establish a routine under center, and therefore I think you're relying on your defense every single time to go out there and win games. And at some point, something's got to give with that.
You're not wrong. But it's not like Josh Allen came back and settled things down. Right. You had a guy that hadn't started a game in 2 years, that had been in the building for 10 days. And by the way, I know everyone's celebrating McDermott and Daboll this week. This kind of makes them look really bad. It was your fifth choice at quarterback that finally was able to put something together.
Absolutely.
Not McCarron, not Peterman, not Josh Allen, not Derek Anderson. The guy that was like, come on, just do it.
What was the role he played? I mean, they did the same thing with Derek Anderson. They brought him in cold, and it didn't go well.
Yeah.
But Barkley...
Anderson is done. Anderson I think he knows that he's done. I think he came in to be more of the mentor. Yeah. Matt Barkley still thinks he can play. He's not that old. He's a guy that's been, 7 years, I guess, since he was drafted. So he still is thinking, I can show everybody, and I can get a job, whether it's Buffalo or another place. I said to you guys, and and you've gotten on me about the whole thing, but I said to you, McDermott has made every wrong decision about quarterback. Up to this point, his best decision was when he took Peterman out and put Tyrod back in. He sort of had to do it last year. Mm-hmm. His second best decision was this past week, not just because Barkley played well, forget about that. It was the idea that he did not force Allen back in on the field earlier than he should have. That tells you how bad his decision-making has been at quarterback to this point, when your second best decision is to play Matt Barkley after he had been in camp for 2 weeks.
Jenna, what was
why are you looking at
There's no decision. Allen was not going to play. We all know that. Listen, he can have him throw with his sleeve on all he wants while the cameras are on.
He could have started Peterman.
He could have, yeah.
No, you couldn't. That's just it. The decision was made for him. The decision was made. You were forced to start another guy on 10 days experience with an offense because of the poor decisions you made. So I want to hear no credit to McDermott.
Oh, no.
No, I think McDermott got very lucky. No one could have expected Barkley to have this performance.
And I'm saying his decision-making has been so bad when this is the second of your two good decisions.
It's not even good. You got one. You're still with one.
But the confidence that you can build from this, having LaShawn McCoy get 100 yards, having 2 touchdowns, him in the end zone, the fact that Matt Barkley at least made his receivers look competent, that confidence cannot be undersold. Especially going into this part of the season where they have a lot of, I don't want to say easy games, but definitely winnable games.
And the playoff run begins.
Oh my God.
You know what's going to happen, right? We're going to be in the hunt with 3 games to go. It's going to happen.
It's going to happen.